Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. Good evening. Welcome to Against the Public for January 9th. Before we get started, I just want to say to everybody who is in Los Angeles County that my prayers are with you. I know that's kind of cliche, but really no other way to say it. I've been watching the coverage today, and it's absolutely devastating. And I know a lot of people there, have a lot of customers there, and if you have been affected, believe me, my thoughts are definitely with you, and hopefully everything will start to get better. But man, I see some people that are hanging out. It's just get out of there. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there. Don't want to gloss over it because it is absolutely devastating what's happening in Los Angeles County right now. But with a heavy heart, we press on. Last night, all access customers continued to smash totals. 27 and 14 run, 66% winners, plus 1,101 units won. I had two strong plays on Wednesday's card, so you can check those out at pickdawgz.com, see the results of those two strong totals. And of course, we do these videos before the games start the day before. So check out those results on pickdawgz.com. You just hit the link, and all my records and all my plays are up there for better or worse. I'm Dana Lane. Thanks for joining me. Today we go to the NBA. Check that. Today we go to the NHL for our free winner. Before that, I just want to give you an idea of what I'm looking at on Thursday's card at pickdawgz.com. And college hoops, it looks like we're going to start things early. I really like to jump on these early games. Morehead State, Arkansas Little Rock's going to tip off at 2 o'clock Eastern Time, 11 o'clock Pacific. Then we'll go over to North Carolina Greensboro, Tennessee Chattanooga at 5 o'clock Eastern Time. So we'll have two early plays. And then as we get into the evening, we'll bounce over to NC Wilmington and Monmouth, and we'll finish things off with Liberty and Sam Houston. And I know, not the top of the upper echelon of college basketball universities, I guess, but you go where the winners are, where the numbers dictate that you're going to have the best opportunities. So I've said this 100 times. It doesn't matter where the money comes from as long as it does. And we got four big games tomorrow in college basketball. We look to improve on a 28 and 15 overall run, 65% winners plus 1,295 units, a 10 and 4 run in college basketball totals. In the NBA, I'm looking at Toronto, Cleveland, probably Minnesota, Orlando. And then the get-out game is going to be Charlotte and the Los Angeles Lakers. Massive NHL schedule tonight. Looks like I have three plays. We look to improve on a 13 and 6 money line run in the National Hockey League, plus 802 units. Possible plays on Buffalo, Ottawa, Colorado, Minnesota, and the Islanders, and VGK as your get out or insider play last game of the day in the NHL. So, and then of course, the big, massive game, Penn State and Notre Dame, and your semifinal playoffs. So we got all that for you at pickdawgz.com. Just go over to the website. Something there for everyone. And if you're wondering, how do I get every play that you release? Well, I'm glad that I pretended you asked. You can get every play for the next week, 30 days, or the annual all-access pass for just $4.11. And again, at pickdawgz.com, you can find all of those packages locked and loaded. Okay, let's get to your free play for Thursday, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, 4 o'clock Pacific. Seattle Kraken 17, 21, and 3, 20 and 21 on the puck line, 19, 20, and 2 to the under. They head to Nationwide Arena in Columbus, Ohio. Take on the Blue Jackets, who are 18, 17, and 6, 22, 19 on the puck line, and 28, 12, and 1 to the over. Seattle's lost 3 straight games. Last 2 games went under the total. Columbus is 6-2-1 in their last 9 games with 4 straight overs, and 7 of 8 games have also gone over the total, which is not a surprise when we're talking about the Jackets, one of the best over teams in the National Hockey League this season. Jackets have not cashed 2 straight unders at any point this year. So that gives you an idea of how strong they've been on the over. Maybe take a peek at that if you'd rather bet the total. Seattle is a minus $1.15 road favorite, total 6.5 under, minus $1.25. Early betting patterns favor Columbus and the over, but that might change. We'll talk about that in a second. Over their last 10 games, the Kraken are 2-7-1, 8-11 on the road, where they play the next 5 games. 8 points out of that last wild card spot, and I think this is going to be a season-defining trip for the Kraken and for Dan Bialsman's team. They're 23rd in goals per game, 22nd in power play goals, 22nd in power play percentage, 25th in shots, and 18th in goals allowed per game. On top of that, well, they're dealing with some injuries, including Joey Daccord, who's been out for 5 games, been out almost about 3 weeks or so. He's been activated from the IR, and I expect him to play in this game. And, of course, the number reflects that, and we'll talk about that in a second as well. He has not played in almost 3 weeks after suffering that upper body injury against the Colorado Avalanche. Grubauer started all 5 games in his absence. He's only 5-12-1 this year, 3.45 goals against, 880 save percentage, a long way from what he was with the Washington Capitals. The Jackets, they crawled back from a 3-1 deficit against the Pittsburgh Penguins, a team they usually fall apart against. They crawled back to win that game, and not only did they win that game, they pushed themselves into a playoff spot. This is the first time they've been in a playoff spot this late in the season in 6 years. And I know it's only January, but that gives you an idea of how bad the Jackets have been. They have averaged just under a point a game over their last 42 games. This is really a remarkable story in Columbus, considering where they started. And of course, we know about the tragedy to Johnny Gaudreau. They were struggling to actually get to the floor. Of course, Patrick Laine exited the organization as well. They were scrambling for a bit, but Dean Everson's came in, and he's done a fantastic job. I'm sure Minnesota Wild fans were wondering where this was in Minnesota, but it did really settle things down. Has done a great job. I'd love to see them get a little bit more production down the middle, but they're in a much better spot than anybody expected them to be. This number opened Columbus minus $1.15. News came out about Daccord. Now Seattle is a minus $1.15 road favorite. And I really have a rule, and once again we see this. I have a rule where I just don't overreact to guys coming back. I don't overreact to what I just saw, and I don't overreact to guys coming back into the fold. This time we're talking about Joey Daccord. I'm not going to go overboard. I'm not going to get excited. I mean, of course, it's a massive drop-off between Daccord and Grubauer of late. But this is a Jackets team that is coming home after a road win against the Pittsburgh Penguins. And that is absolutely significant, but because they have not beaten Pittsburgh in over 10 years. It is a massive monkey or penguin off their back, and I'm going to ride with what has to be the peak of their confidence against a team that is still looking for their confidence. So Columbus minus $1.05 at home. I think this is a very generous number. Market seems to be just completely overreacting to Daccord with a Seattle team that's average at best. So take Columbus minus $1.05 as your free play. Please go to pickdawgz.com, where every individual play and discounted long-term pass is locked and loaded on the website. And of course, you could jump on that all-access pass for the next 365 days for just $4.11 a day. I can't thank you enough for joining me on a daily basis. Thanks for all the nice comments on YouTube as well. Please hit that like and subscribe button. I see all the people that watch. Just hit the like button. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's a low percentage of people that don't like it. But thank you so much to everybody that does. Please hit the like button. I appreciate that as well. For Against the Public, I'm Dana Lane. All the best to you and your wagers on Thursday.